What is up? It is your boy Christian back at it again. Another video. Got the candles going. Got the Halo 3 poster up. Just kidding. It's been up there for a while. Um, so let's talk about purpose or the lack of purpose or the feeling that you lack purpose. However you want to articulate that. Alright. So purpose is kind of a difficult topic to talk about because again it's gonna be a little bit different for everybody what's their earthly purpose. Now I'll give you the straight answer right away. I'm not gonna waste your time. The ultimate purpose in life, because life is very vain, you don't get to keep any of it, and none of the things you earn, as great as it is, the progress you make, the growth you get, that's the kind of the only thing you really get to keep is the character growth and the victories you get, because victories are in a way kind of eternal because you always have that in your mind like, yeah, I did this. So life is very vain, you don't get to keep it. But the straight answer, the ultimate goal is salvation. As a Christian, going to heaven, having that relationship with God. More importantly, being forgiven for your sins, living a life of repentance. For those of you who don't know, repentance is not an action, it's an abstinence from bad action. Okay? Now, sorry for anyone who is an atheist who just listened to me spiel on that, whatever. Now let's get to the earthly stuff. Which is primarily what I want to talk about, but I'm trying to, give you everything. So, the feeling that you lack purpose, like, I don't know, man, maybe it's just me. I was born in 2003, but a lot of guys go through this feeling. Like, it's becoming really more common. I don't know how to put this. It's something that the younger men in my generation is becoming a lot more acquainted with. They're dealing with this. Same thing I am, and a lot of other people are. But it's becoming a lot more common. There's a feeling of existential dread, like why am I alive? What's going on? Or sometimes I feel guilty, like if today is Saturday, and I injured my back, so I wasn't working as hard as I could, lifting weights as much as I could, and I felt like I didn't really need a rest, even though my back needed it. I feel like I'm just not really doing some. I feel guilty. I feel whatever. And today I just feeling this existential dread, this lack of purpose in my life, and I more or less want to talk to you about that. I have answers because I have. Hopefully, I'm further in the journey than you are. So hopefully, this is actually applicable advice. I'm a level or two above you, so I can give you advice on how to defeat the bosses you're coming up on. But first, I want to give some, ground context, whatever. The feeling of confusion or lack of purpose in life is not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes you look at it as like a warning sign. Or if for example, if you're a guy that's on, you're watching the videos online, you're in a crusty computer chair, you're playing League of Legends, and one day something snaps in your head, you're like, bro, I'm wasting my life. That's a good thing because that's a warning sign. And then the feeling of confusion when you're trying to we're trying to make progress, trying to do this, and it just kind of feels like nothing's working, and you're feeling this struggle. That's not necessarily a bad thing either, and I'll get into that. See, if you live life on the bleachers, um, how do I say this? How do I say this? If you're the guy that lives the life on the bleachers and you're feeling this feeling, it's probably because you're not doing anything. Now, if you're in the arena and you're fighting and you're struggling, you're still feeling these feelings of existential dread, you don't know what's going on, you're confused about your purpose, confused about your reason for living, right? I'll have to frame it this way. When you're in the middle of a battle is chaotic. Spiritual warfare is chaotic, but like think of it as like a gladiatorial arena. If you're in the middle of a fight, there's a lot of people fighting. It can be confusing, it can be chaotic, and you're going to be stressed out. You're not going to know what is the next thing to do. You may not know what exactly to do, who is friendly, who is not, whatever. Now, compare this to your life, where you're like, I'm trying to do the right things. I'm meditating every day. Maybe you stretch and you listen to a podcast that's like, so let's say Hamza's longer videos, or hopefully mine are adding value to your life. Look, reviewing my thing because I had a lot of this stuff written down. Gratitude journaling's another one. You're doing all these things, and you still feel this like, man, what am I doing? I think that a little aspect of that is part of life. Like people do often feel that feeling of like existential dread. But the younger generation, especially me, and like guys, and not just I have it worse than anyone else. I probably am not nearly as bad as some people have it. Some people probably have far worse. But anyways, it's becoming really common. Now, why is that? I'm sorry if I'm kind of talking all over the place. I'm getting better at work, being on camera. I'm getting better. But you're doing all these things and you still feel these feelings. Why? Well, you won. You're in the arena. You're in the battle. You're in the midst of all these things that you're trying to work through, and a lot of it's going to be confusing and upset. Ultimately, my advice to you, having made it a little bit further and starting to defeat these feelings and also make real progress in my life and getting better on camera, getting better with YouTube, learning the skills. I haven't figured out video editing yet, but I'm working on that. Ultimately, earthly, your purpose is doing what's in front of you. I truly believe that you're born in the country you are for a reason. And some people, there could be a luck component to that, but I truly believe that everything in your life is set up in a certain way for a reason. Now, it could just be me just looking for a reason in areas where reason doesn't exist. I mean, hey, look, I could be wrong about that. But I think everything is set up in a certain way to give you a certain advantage, a certain whatever it is, certain mission, whatever it is you got to do in life. And you got to figure out what it is, but more often than not, it's right in front of you. You exhale, let's say you have bad breath. Here's an example, or an analogy, if you will. You have bad breath. Your nose is literally right here, man. But your nose won't tell you have bad breath. Someone else has to tell you. Sometimes, hopefully not, but sometimes people will be like, yo, brush your teeth, man. And if you're that guy, yo, brush your teeth. Get off your crusty computer chair and get in the arena. But, anyways, sorry about that. I digress. I kind of broke my flow a little bit there, but that's okay. You gotta do what's in front of you. More often than not, what's in front of you is what you're supposed to be doing. And if you're not sure, if you truly aren't sure what that is, more often than not, a good barometer is to move in the direction of fear or the most resistance. True north, as people like to call it, is in the true direction you're supposed to head into in life. It's often the place where there's the most resistance because Satan does not want you to win. Satan doesn't want you to make progress. Satan wants you to stay at level 1 on your cursey computer chair watching the videos because that means you're bound for hell. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying if you're not constantly doing something, whatever, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you're going to go to hell because you're lazy. I mean, it is, sloth is one of the 7 deadly sins. I'm not God, I'm not your judge, so I can't tell you A, B, whatever. I'm not a professional. I'm just 20 years old, I'm learning this stuff. Hopefully I'm a few levels above you. But you gotta be doing something. I believe even if you're in a wheelchair, like there's this one lady who was blind and deaf, whatever, and she wrote books or whatever, she learned how to communicate. It doesn't matter what your situation is. There's something you can do to add to your life, and if with other lives of others, preferably. Obviously, self growth is incredibly important. The bigger, stronger you are, physically, mentally, and spiritually, opens up new doors to not only help yourself but help other people. Which is, the goal. We're not solitary creatures. We're meant to live in society and communities and stuff, and build and support each other. So more often than not, the society, whatever it is that needs help in life, whatever it is that you need to build towards or build for or find is often directly in front of you, even if you can't see it. And I'm not saying that's going to be easy to find out what that is, because again, you've made it this far, and you still don't know what it is. You still can't see it. You still have this nagging feeling. Maybe you found it. Maybe you're a couple levels above me, and you still got this nagging feeling of dread. Again, I'm in the journey with you guys. I'm 20. I started, lifting when I was 15. I started, and, off and on. But I didn't get consistent good until I was 17, 18. I started seeing really good progress. And, spiritually, I've been working on that since a long time, I guess. I grew up in a church, but I didn't really become a Christian. A practicing Christian, I don't say. I mean, I prayed, I did a couple things, read the Bible when I was younger. But it didn't become real to me until I became a born-again Christian, which I think truly started probably around like 17 or so. April 28th, 2020 is when I asked Jesus into my heart. But so I've been into this for a while. I've been doing this, and I can only give you so much advice because I'm only so far into the journey. And for someone who's been in it as long as I haven't made the physical gains, the spiritual gains that I could have, because I've been slothful. And I don't have it all figured out either. But right now I'm doing what's in front of me, and what's in front of me happens to be this YouTube channel. Not that it's a great YouTube channel, or that I even have a single subscriber as of now. It is Saturday, July 15th. 15th, 16th. Let me check real quick. It is 16th of July. And I don't have a single subscriber. Someone subscribed to my channel and unsubscribed, which is fine. His name was like Amin something, probably a Muslim guy. Nothing wrong with that, by the way, but you know, I'm not doing a super great job, but I'm doing what's in front of me. And more often than not in life, you can only take it, well, you literally only can take it one day at a time. But a lot of times, that's all you can do is just one day at a time, chip away. You're constantly chipping away at this thing every day. Let's say you're an architect, right? And you just got this big slab stones, square, whatever looking thing, and you're about to turn it into the statue of David. Now imagine every day, one day a week, sorry, not one day a week, one time a day. If you have a good, successful day, you meditate, stretch, whatever. I'm not saying you can't make progress if you don't do all these things 100% consistently. You'll still make progress. But if you want to maximize your progress, do them all. But anyways, let's say every day you take that chisel, you take that hammer, and you hit it, and you make one good knock into your progress. And, it takes however many 20,000 knocks, let's say, with a hammer and chisel. I guess just an analogy, it doesn't have to be perfect. Every knock is that one chip it takes to unleash the statue of David. To build that thing. It's that statue's hidden in the stone, so you got to chip it out. And every day you make progress. You make every day a win. Every day you win. Every day you get all the things done you want to do. You go to the gym. You lift weights. I mean, you maybe didn't make as much progress in the gym, but you went to the gym and you still got the gains. You got a decent workout in, anyways. You meditated for 8 minutes instead of 10, whatever. Sorry. You're doing all these things, and that's one good knock. Boom. A solid knock. Right into that statue, and you chipped away a big piece of that rock that wasn't going to be the statue, part of the statue that you're building. So that's the mindset you got to take to this stuff. Because it can be depressing to look in the mirror and not see progress. But I've been working extra hard in the past couple of weeks. I've been literally pushing it to failure. I've got like blood vessels that popped in my eye socket, orbital, whatever area before because I pushed it so hard. I've gotten bloody noses while I've trained. That's not a good idea to push it that hard, but I've pushed it incredibly hard before for like a month, and I'm just like, fuck, I still look the same, dude. Like I've gotten a little stronger, whatever, and that's great progress. But you look the same in the mirror, and I still don't look great. I'm tall and kind of lanky. I don't got a beautiful face. I'm not a model or nothing. But I made progress, and sometimes it takes months. Sometimes it'll take a full year for you to finally see that. But one day you look in the mirror, one day you look at your progress, one day maybe you're writing, maybe you're writing, maybe whatever it is you'll do after you chip away at it long enough, you'll see the form to start taking shape. And right now, obviously, you're sacrificing comfort, but but in the future, you're gonna delay that gratification, and you're gonna get satisfaction in its place. That's incredibly important to remember, because it can be incredibly hard to keep going when you're not feeling that. When you're feeling confused, when you're feeling in the heat of the battle, when you're not sure who's going to win, or you're not sure if you're going to win, what to do next, what blah, 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 blah. More often than not, the person that you got to fight, the thing you got to struggle against is often the enemy right in front of you, and you might not be able to see it. That's the fact of life. Like I said, the analogy of your nose being right next to your mouth, but you still can't smell your own bad breath. That's just a fact of life. That's how it works sometimes. We can't really see that. Sometimes we need help from other people. Sometimes we need that bird's eye view, or someone who's a couple levels above to look down and be like, yeah, I see what you're doing. This is how you get through the next boss, which is what I'm trying to do for you. And if you haven't started a YouTube channel, you haven't started that business, you haven't started whatever A, B, C, D, E, F, G, we're doing whatever it is in front of you, and it could just be carpentry. Whatever it is. You gotta start. You should start. You gotta start. You need to start. It's incredibly important, not only to your development, but for the future family that you hopefully will have. Maybe, I don't know. Again, you don't have to have kids, but it's incredibly important to not only remember to do those things, but to, do those things. And it's important. It really, really is. So, and it's often underplayed in life because we're taught to enjoy the moment rather than prepare for the future, which is what men do. We build for the next generation. We build for our kids, our mom, our dad, whatever, If you're in your 20s and you haven't taken steps to help your dad retire, maybe your dad's a deadbeat that lives in New York and you live in California, I should still, I don't know. I'm not going to get any individual, technicalities, but, generally speaking, you should try to help your family. You should try to be building for that. I want my siblings, my little sister, to go to a good school someday. We're not going to be able to afford that with the stuff we got going on now, so I got to make more money. You know, someday, if I have a wife and I'm walking on the street, sometimes to jump me, I want to learn, and I'm trying to learn martial arts now. I want to learn martial arts so I can actually, protect her. Um, and I don't, obviously you shouldn't get into these things for women. It can also be, it can be a great motivation, but should not be your soul, the weight that's beneath whatever it is that you're doing. Um, if I have a wife, I want to have a good body for her. I want her to take care of her body as well. I'm primarily care more so about my own because I don't want to present something that's bad to her. And I'm not trying to be a simp, but it's the truth. The matter is that you do things for the future in life. That's how life works. If you're not doing that, I would go as far to say that you're either not living or you're living like a wuss. And you could be doing a lot more. You could have a lot more potential, but you don't because you're not fucking trying hard enough. And sometimes that's just your issue. You put in the work, but and again for myself included in this, because for years I started lifting 5 years ago, and I look like someone that's been lifting for maybe two. You could truly just not be putting in the fucking work. And pardon my language, I'm trying to be Christian YouTube channel, I'm trying not to swear, but truly I'm saying it. You may not be putting in the work. You truly may not be putting it in or putting in enough. Or you, in a very, very rare cases, you truly could be putting in too much, not letting yourself to recover. But generally speaking, if you're working or whatever, and then on your days off, or you're anything like me, and you feel guilty because you feel like you could be doing more, you're probably not doing enough. If your bodies can be better, it's not good enough. And it's not meant to be bleak. That's meant to be motivating because it means your next level is you have more unlocked potential. Imagine leveling up a sword skill to, let's say in a game, to level 10 and being like, dang, this is it. No, you can actually go to level 100 if you try hard enough. That would, a lot of people would be like, dang, that's cool. I'm gonna triple down on my sword play, whatever. No, it's just analogy, but if your best can be better, it's not good enough. And all it sounds bleak, and that's what I used to tell myself, and it used to make me depressed until I changed my perspective. And again, as Epictetus once said, man is not disturbed by events, but rather the way he chooses to look at them. So, sorry, I kind of broke my flow with that, but so it's not a bleak mindset to be like your best can be better. If your best can be better, I swear to you, it can. There's always something you can improve on. That means there's another level above that. That means there's something else to grow. And and again, a video game would be doing more damage to an enemy. It means the next boss you're gonna fight, you're gonna be fighting with a better weapon, or maybe fighting with the same weapon but knowing how to use it in a way that'll help you win. And if you can do that, why haven't you done it already? If it's something that's you're capable of doing, you should be doing it. Life's not a game. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but it's highly competitive out there at the moment. A lot of guys are weak, but a lot of men are also waking up. And obviously, you should help your brothers wake up and whatever. But it's highly competitive. And in the real world, you gotta be a little cutthroat at times, and you gotta not betray people. But I'm saying like, you have to work really friggin' hard, and it's not a bad thing. That's where a lot of growth happens, physically, mentally, spiritually. You get those calluses on your brain, you become a better person, and the things that used to be hard become easy. And now, what you consider hard, what you're afraid of, what you whatever is, becomes a higher level, and then you conquer that too. You grow, you grow, you grow, you grow, you grow, and we're finite human beings, which is pretty awesome because that means that we can infinitely, grow. Not the same way we become God or nothing like that. I'm not trying to say that. It's just that as humans we're finite, which means that we have a lot of potential to grow, right? Some people like to look and say we're finite with this, with that. We can't actually go that much. Then that means we only have a limited capacity. Honestly, I think you can go in all areas of your life. Even if you max out one potential area, there's so many more areas to go in that I think you could be busy for the rest of your life. Even if you lived 3 lives worth of life, I think you would still be completely busy. I think there's always something to improve on. More languages to learn, more enemies to conquer and fight in life. Not an enemy could truly just be depression. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going out there and you're looking for goblins and orcs to fight and wrestle with. It means that you are looking for. It could be challenges to overcome. It could be communities to help. It could be people to save. It could bring to Jesus. It could be whatever. But whatever it is, there's always more of it, and there's always room to grow. There's always, you could find brotherhood, and you could have a whole group of men that you're helping people, you're feeding the homeless, whatever. There's always something to do and going. And growth doesn't necessarily mean that you have to grow for yourself. It could be cultivating a good community online of men that are help each other with depression or something. I mean, I don't know. Fuck it. I'm sorry, pardon my language. Screw it. I mean, we all have our individual gifts and like that all come from God, and we all have a certain area that we excel in. That's typically the area that we're meant to direction meant to move in. God doesn't give things to people He doesn't want them to use. So if you have something, truly, if you have something, you gotta use it. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. God will give that gift to someone else who deserves it because they'll actually use it. So if you got something, you got any kind of edge, you got any kind of whatever, now is the time to start using it. I think I'm kind of somewhat gifted in like I'm better at talking to people in real life because I don't stumble over my words as much, and I can answer questions. And people actually listen. I don't get much views at the moment, but I think I'm a little bit gifted in ranting and just giving whatever. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe I suck. I need that bird's eye view, the outside view, bad breath and nose analogy. Maybe I suck. You can tell me I suck in the comments and what to improve on, and I'll improve on it because I want more growth. But anyways, I hope that is somehow helping you boys out because I want to offer you something that's gonna help you. Okay, I don't want to give you advice. I don't want to waste a whole bunch of your time. I want to be frank and straight to the point. And I wasn't super frank and straight to the point in the beginning, so sorry about that. But I'm not gonna record another video. Anyways, I hope that helps. With purpose is kind of a fickle thing. It's rough to figure out, and it's not always straight up and down, black and white. Sadly, but here we are. And we got to figure it out. We got to work hard, and we got to make progress one way or another. And weakness is not an option, believe it or not. So you got to work hard. And now it may sound bleak, but it's really not. It's actually the opposite. When you get into more of the mindset, you understand, and you get used to hard work. It's actually the opposite. Trust me. It's optimism. Sorry, it gives a life meaning. Growth, I swear to you, gives earthly life meaning. I mean, your relationship with God should do that too. And I'm not saying it can't. But I'm saying when you have that thing to work towards, have that thing to grow, and have that thing to provide for, whatever it may be, it could be a community, it could be a cat, it could be your mom, it could be your wife. Whatever it is, gives life meaning. It really does. And for some people, the only meaning they'll ever find is in Jesus. And some people, I'm not trying to say you can't, whatever. Before I stumble on any more words, I think I made my point pretty clear. And if you got any comments, I'll gladly answer questions and make a video on whatever it is you guys need, I'm here to help you out. This is also my business. Hopefully, if I get good enough, but, we'll see. So thanks for watching. Have a good night wherever you are.